Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome. My name's Sarah McLean, and I'm excited that you're here. You know, we all belong right here. And that's the topic I want to talk about today is belonging. So I'm going to invite you to just tune in for a moment, closing your eyes if you'd like, or gazing softly to the floor. And we're just going to get sort of oriented to the sense of belonging. The sense of belonging. So first we'll start with its opposite. Take a moment and get a sense of a recent time or even a time in your personal history where you felt like you didn't belong. Perhaps you felt like you were excluded because you didn't believe the same thing or didn't behave the same way. Or you weren't included in a conversation or a project at work. So if you tune into that instance of not feeling included and not feeling like you belong, how did you feel, or how does it feel now as you reflect upon it? And now consider a time where you felt like you certainly did belong among your friends, among your family, maybe when you were engaged in a project, a creative project, or problem solving with a team. How does it feel to you? How do you feel physically and emotionally when you feel included? When you believe that who you are matters? How does it feel to be included and feel like you belong? So I invite you to open your eyes, if you would, and share, if you would, in the chat, maybe a word or two about how you feel when you feel excluded. Maybe it's a physical sensation, maybe it's emotional, maybe you do some different behaviors when you feel excluded, and then how you feel when you feel included. How do you feel in your body? What happens in your emotional body? Maybe your behaviors are even different. I'd love to hear from you because it's very real. Very real. We all are human beings. We've all been excluded. We've all been included. Not just some of us, but all of us, each and every one of us. So I can see the excluded. Some people feel sad, deep hurt, heavy, teary, dismissed, closed, and then feeling included, feeling like you belong. I can see people are saying they're feeling loved, they feel warmth in their heart, they feel lightness and honored, loved and open. Thank you for sharing. People, when you're feeling excluded, your people-pleasing behaviors kick in. Yes, I understand. And we want to feel, each one of us wants to feel like we belong. And belonging is really and truly the sense of ease and joy and warmth and openness. And it feels like we can give freely when we feel like we belong. And whether someone includes us or not, we can still instill the sense of belonging when we're truly present in this moment. So when we don't feel like we belong, quite often we're looking to outsource our sense of self and our right to be here. And a lot of us think there's something wrong with us when people exclude us for whatever reason. We don't even know sometimes what they're doing. But by the very nature of who we are and our existence, we are enough. You are enough and you belong. Started thinking about this today when I was reading a poem by Mary Oliver. And I'm going to read it to you. I know you never intended to be in this world, but you're in it all the same. So why not get started immediately? I mean belonging to it. There's so much to admire, to weep over, and to write music or poems about. Bless the feet that take you to and fro. Bless touching. Bless the eyes and listening ears. Bless the tongue, the marvel of taste. You could live 100 years. It's happened, or not. I'm speaking from the fortunate platform of many years, none of which I think I ever wasted. Do you need a prod? Do you need a little darkness to get you going? Let me be as urgent as a knife then, and remind you of Keats, so single of purpose and thinking for a while, he had a lifetime. So Mary Oliver, as you know, is the late American poet, and she's talking here of Keats, who died of tuberculosis in his 20s, but was madly in love and constantly wrote love poems. Some of you may know some of them, but he was single-minded, and he thought for a while he had a lifetime, just as many of us do. We have a lifetime. We just don't know how long it is. So to be in that glorious sensation of belonging, belonging to this world, and noticing when you feel like you don't belong, right? So as you know, we often talk about mindfulness, and mindfulness in its very nature really helps us to remember the truth of our own belonging by allowing us to experience the ease and joy of this moment. So mindfulness means paying attention on purpose in the present moment with a kind and gentle attention. And this will help us feel like we belong. And so that's what I'm going to guide us into today, is the truth of our belonging. And one of my favorite meditations, I've been doing a lot lately, is the 4 elements or 5 elements practice, which really helps you to tune in to the fact that you belong here, just like the air, the space, the fire, the light, all of it, the earth, the wind. So connecting with nature and the nature inside you is a great way to do that. So we're going to practice for about 20 minutes, a mindfulness practice called the 5 elements practice. And, in Chinese medicine, they talk about various elements. In Ayurveda, they talk about various elements. In other wisdom traditions, they talk about elements, but I'm going to use the ones from the Ayurvedic tradition. And really it involves 5. And so you'll get to know them intimately as we go through this practice. So as you all know, if you've been here before, I like to remind you of the 5 essentials when we go into any practice, regardless of whether you've been meditating for 10 years or 10 days, or this is your very first time. First, it's important to recognize that thoughts are okay. You're going to have all kinds of thoughts. Usually it's the nature of your mind to think. And so just come on back again and again to what we're doing here, or not. And if you do decide to come back and join the meditation, really be nice to yourself. Do not spend any time berating yourself, excluding yourself, making yourself different. See if you can invite that sense of belonging. The thoughts belong. You're just going to redirect your attention on the practice. Second, and so you're going to be redirecting, you're going to be kind to yourself, you're going to let go of expectations, even if you've done this practice before, because you can't step into the same practice twice. And we're not going to try to have any experience, we're going to have the experience we're having. And then lastly, we're going to stick with the whole practice. The chickens next door, I have some hens next door, they are very busy laying eggs. So if you hear that in the meditation, they belong too. Everything belongs. Everything belongs. So let me see here. I'm just going to see if there's anyone else we need to let in. Great. All right. So let's get comfortable. Find the most comfortable position for you. Ideally, you're sitting up. Some people would say that if you're lying down, you're really setting yourself up for a nap, but some of you might need a nap. If you don't need a nap and you want to sort of establish this presence in your waking state, then my suggestion is to sit upright, feeling the support underneath you. You can keep your eyes open, you can close your eyes, or you can gaze softly to the ground. And there's no particular way to hold your hands or to sit. Just get comfortable. You're already here in your body. Just make yourself feel as comfortable as you can and get a sense of that support around you. You belong right here with us. You belong right here in the space you're in. So I'm going to invite you now to close your eyes as we get started. I'll be keeping track of the time. So let's get started by grounding the body in this moment. What does that mean? Simply tuning in to the support that's here. The support underneath your feet. The support that you're sitting on underneath your rear. The support of this group and the end of your practice. Giving yourself some deeper breaths. Letting your whole body fill and empty. And with each breath, inviting a sense of relaxation. 3 long, slow, deep breaths at your own pace. And then let your breath return to its natural rhythm and depth. And ask yourself, what's happening in my body right now? What sensations do I notice right now? Remembering the sense of belonging and allowing every sensation to be here. Ask yourself, can I meet these sensations with kindness, a sense of welcoming? Allowing everything to be here. As you begin to notice the weight of your body, the solidity of your body, the element of earth expresses itself in your body. The weight, the stability, your bones. Notice that sense of solidity as you allow your body to soften and rest. It's dynamic and solid. Notice your bones, your skin, the tissues and fat. Your solidity, the denseness, this is all the element of the earth. It's cool and solid. It's grounding. Your body is an expression of this earth element. Inviting that sense of solidity. And recognize that you belong to this earth. And though the earth element is cool, there's also the fire element that it expresses itself through you. Temperature in your body, the warmth, the vibration. Where do you feel the internal heat? You might sense the fire element in your body, in the belly, or in your heart. The fire element governs your digestion and metabolism, your ability to transform. Noticing the ways that the fire element lives through you, through the light of your awareness. The fire, the warmth, the heat, and the light belongs here. And now we'll tune into the element of water. Smooth and flowing, strong. Perhaps you can sense the water element in the moistness of your eyes, inside your mouth. All the fluids in your body, the blood coursing through you. The water element is cohesive and cool. Tuning into the liquid, the water, and recognizing that just like you are mostly liquid, that this planet is also mostly water. Inviting the sense of this element of water to connect you to all of life. Inviting your whole body to soften as you belong right here in this moment. Tuning in now to the element of air. Air is movable and changeable. It's light, ephemeral. You can tune in to the air on your skin. You may sense it as coolness. It's very subtle. Notice the air as you breathe in and out, as it fills your body and empties easily. Your breath, your air is connected to the air all around you, to the sky, to the wind. To the circulation of the air, to the breath that's been breathed in and out by many living beings. Bringing your attention to the breath, noticing the inhale and the exhale and the pauses in between. We'll practice breath awareness for a few minutes, and I'll keep track of the time. And as you keep your attention on your breath, begin to tune in now to the element of space, the space that is between each breath, the space that fills with the breath and empties. Tuning into the element of space, the space where you dwell right now, where you belong, right here. And with your eyes closed, continue to recognize the elements of solidity, groundedness, and the earth that expresses itself through you. Sense of fire and light and warmth. Expressing itself through you. The element of water, liquid and fluid, flowing, circulating, making its way around any obstacle. Sensing it as it lives through you. The air that's movable and changeable, light and ephemeral. That you share with all creatures. As well as the space where you belong, right here. Just as the trees and the skies, creatures, and everyone else, the space that we dwell, the space inside you, outside you. There is nowhere that you do not belong. So as we come out of this meditation, I invite you to come out slowly and let a little light in, that element of fire. Maybe deepening your sensation of the breath and bringing that element of air into your awareness as you begin to open your eyes, letting in that light. And noticing the space between you and the objects in your space, in your room, or out of the window. And recognizing that everything in your space belongs, including you, including the sounds, the sensations, the elements, the comings and goings of your mind. Everything belongs here. I invite you to deepen your breath, take your time coming out of the meditation. Feeling all the elements as they express themselves through you as you. And remembering that you belong, that everything belongs, including everyone. And remembering what it feels like to be excluded. And to bring everyone into your fold, whether it's just a sense that you have here in your heart, or a smile that you offer the trees, your neighbors, whatever it may be, the people around you and your family. I think at this point in time, belonging, the feeling of belonging, the way you described it, is going to be what brings us into a beautiful future. If we can just remember to do it and remember to feel it and embody it on a regular basis. There's no one that doesn't belong. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to stop the recording.